Contraband fan back again the same day. This video is going to show a couple of new acquisitions, most of which are fans, other stuff. So here we go. This one, and good old Hunter Zephyr, which has been worked on before because they put the grill on upside down, but no biggie, was given to me from a mower shop that's been in town for years and years and years, and the guy's retiring and selling the building and clearing out stuff, and he gave me this. He's a fan enthusiast, probably not to the extent that I am, but he had this and another one, and this one unfortunately has taken a hit and the blades are bent. It does still run. It just wobbles really badly, especially if it gets up to any kind of speed. So I won't fire it up any more than that. I'll be able to straighten those blades out, get it running smoothly, and soup them up. Look at that, it's bent so bad it even spins backwards. Let's have a closer look at the condition of the blades. And try and, it oscillates, so it's going to be hard to hold it stable while it spins and get an accurate view of the shape of the bentness. There's the one that's bad. Let's see if I can get it to go. Well, yeah, just use the motor to do it instead of spinning it by hand. That'd be quicker. Yeah, that mug has taken a hit. The guy tells me it sat on the shelf for years. He thought he'd get to it and never has. And I came in there saying, in case you guys got any old electric fans or ventilation equipment or angle iron or rebar or buildable metal that you want to get rid of, I'll make you a deal. And he said, oh, glad you're here. We got this. You got to pull it down off the shelf. Be careful, don't fall off the ladder. Naturally, I'm glad he told me that. I already knew, but this is a beauty. Not in near the shape that it will be, but I'm glad I have it. I'll get it in shape and it'll be on YouTube. God only knows when. In case, next item. This is about the third video I've made today. Of course, by the time you see it, it could be who knows when. This I got probably a week earlier. It was on the back of a junk man's truck. He called me, I got an old fan. I said, yeah, bring it. He said, you want it? I said, shoot, do flies fly? Yeah, bring it. Turns out it's an old General Electric. Not sure the model number. It's a 3-speed reversible, and it runs. It rained here last night, and this was outdoors. I didn't expect it to rain, of course. You don't leave a fan outdoors unless it's a new plastic POS. Anyway, that happened to this one, so my fault, grossly negligent. But it runs super quiet on high speed, and on the lower speeds it's so slow it doesn't really do much. But it's a classic. This thing's 50 years old, possibly older, and it's nice. The switch is stuck. I put a thing in there and tried to turn it. It would move to the lower speeds, but it didn't go to the opposite direction. I didn't want to force it. I'll soak it with some oil and some penetrant and some solvent to uncrustify it, and then I'll take some cleaning agents and steel wool pads possibly to this thing, tidy it up. It'll be good as new. Probably, well, it'll take 3 or 4 hours to work on it. It may take a few days to get to it. I would pan around my lot out here, but it's a frightful mess, and I don't really object. So, but anyway, next item, 2 lawnmowers. Both of them fire up and run. Both of them have minor issues. That one's got floppy wheels on it, but they run. For a while I've wanted to build a bush hog out of an old mower. I thought I'd cut the front wheels off and put a skid thing on there and expose the front of the blade, and then build a bracket on there of some sort so I could do super tall lawns. Back when I used to do more groundskeeping and grunt work than I usually do now, I contracted a job like that, and I found out that there were pranksters that throw bricks and bottles and stuff in the yard, And when the grass is 3 feet high, you don't see them until the mower tells you they're there. When the blade hits, it makes a horrible racket. And then there's me yelling profanity and idiots, slobs, and so on and so on. But anyway, there's these mowers. I'll probably put some kind of rake thing on the front of it. Perhaps even an old spring would weld on there or something, so as to alert me to obstacles before they damage the blade. I've got this thing. This is a dumpster dive. Nice old dolly. Still works. It's been beat to hell and left for dead. The handle needs a way to fix it solidly in there. And since it's so heavy duty, it's been abused. And this is broken loose. It won't shift by hand, but when it has a load on it, it'll flop. And this thing, people buy stuff, they beat the crap out of it, throw it away, and buy a new one. Which I don't mind, as long as I'm there to pick up the waste and capitalize on their slothfulness and their negligence. So that's that thing. Hand trucks are pretty generic. Really useful. Especially the four-wheeled ones with the handles that adjust, that have the heavy duty. And this thing, I almost didn't grab it. This is an Etsy item. It's one of these old chairs that wouldn't have drawn my attention, but the webbing is in really good shape for as old as it is. That's going to need some elbow grease and some abrasives and steel wool pad to shine up the aluminum. But it's what grabbed my attention is that it's a rocking chair. Let me get this drick out of the way. Rocking chair. I had not seen one of these before. So this will clean up nicely and will be on my Etsy site as soon as I get that up and running. And the last thing, an old window air conditioner. I mean, really old window air conditioner. And of course, there's quite a story with this thing. It was in a house that my friends bought, and this was 5 or 6 years ago I first saw the thing. They didn't use this room except for a storage room where this was. It was a through-the-wall unit, and then they wanted to make it a guest bedroom, and it was stifling hot back there. And they said, let's get rid of this unit and get a new one. I said, no, I can get that running. And I did. They said, no, there's no way, that thing's 110 years old, brought over on the Mayflower and then turned upside down and bashed all around. No way you can get it running. So me you're talking to, idiot. I got it running. It lasted a couple of years. They ran it until the motor seized up. And it was ghastly hot in there about a month ago. Oh, Mark, come and fix this air conditioner or pull it out and you can have it and bring another one and put it in. And all you got to do is this and that and the other thing. So I pulled it out. I told them the other unit is old like this one is. And they said, oh, I don't care about any of that. We'll even do the hard part. And I said, oh, okay. I knew immediately as soon as I started moving the thing that's 100 pounds or more, it's going to be a drama. But no, I'm optimistic because I got quality stuff and they want an air conditioner. And I like making a mockery of new plastic crap. This did not turn out that way. Pulling this thing out wasn't so hard. Pulling the sleeve out, this is a through-the-wall unit, was a pain. They usually are. Got to use a crowbar and a sledgehammer and improvisation out the wazoo. They both came out, and I kept this. The wall sleeve was smashed. And besides, it's not going back in the wall anyway. I don't like things through the wall, but that's how this one was. And I brought a unit over there, and they didn't like it. And the folks, the whole house full, looked at it one after the other, and they said, oh, it's old, and it's dirty, and it's crusty. Before I even moved it off the spot where I had it, I fired it up, and I put the thermometer on there. It was about 80 degrees out. It went down under 50. And I said, watch this thing run and guarantee that you want it, because if I move it and you don't want it, I'm going to pitch a bitch. And they said, oh no, it's hotter than hell in here and we're melting like the witch and the Wizard of Oz. Oh, bring it over here, hurry, 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 hurry. Butt washing bullshit. Oops, pardon my language. YouTube's going to probably jump down my case. Oh well. Anyway, never mind that. This lovely unit has switching issues, and the fan motor was having a hard time turning. Now I checked it and it's not doing so bad, but still it needs oil. It gets cold, it will work again. And the guy, here's the part I like after the circus drama nonsense fest behind it. That's the evaporator side indoors. Of course the plastic grills are long gone, smashed to pieces because it doesn't work anymore, and then have a hissy and bash it all around because that'll make it work. The guy bought a newfangled plastic thing which didn't work, bought it retail. I wanted $200 for the whole job, including the install of the new unit. And oh, that's so expensive, I can't believe you'd try and rob us like that, it's insane, $200. He spent $250 on a new plastic stink nugget that didn't work, and he didn't like that, and he wanted me to fix it. I said, no, sorry about you, good luck. So that thing, he did something with it. Bought another one, same thing. I don't know if the first one went back to the store or what. The second one was from a scratch and dent, so it can't go back, and he ain't happy with it. Can't get the compressor to run. Doesn't even have buttons on it. It's got a remote control, and it's all digital. Ooh, it's computerized. It can't go wrong, but it did. He said, oh, help me, oh, I'm dying, it's so hot. And I said, dude, kiss my ass. And so, yeah, I got this. And that unit went wrong somehow or another. He said, oh, come look at it. I said, okay. So I stood there and looked at it and said, I'm not touching that, because if I mess with it, then I'll have liability when you try and take it back to the store and talk whatever BS. You're going to hype the guy to get it back. So he bought a portable unit, which those things work great when they're new, as do all the plastic bubble wrapped turd units. But I had one of those that got like Alaska in January, but the evaporator fan broke on it, being plastic, of course. It was shattered, and because it got so cold, I hunted and rummaged and shuffled stuff around and found one that sort of kind of fit after I modified it for 2 hours. And then the motor spun inside the hub of it, because it's also a plastic piece of dreck from hell, and it spun out. So I just parted. I rated the R22 out of it, put it in my can, and all by spec, all with certification and so on and so on. This is a classic case of why I don't do air conditioning anymore. But I got this one. I'm going to make it run, and I'm going to show it to the guy. And he already knows the one I was going to replace it with works great, but he didn't want it. So now he is a classic case of plastic newfangled stuff is all glitz and glam and zero substance. And he knows he'll never hear the end of it, so he doesn't bring the case up anymore. Anyway, I don't even know. I think this is a GE, but it's a classic beauty, and it's going to be in my air conditioning and fan heap of stuff that people turn their nose up at because it's dangerous and it's rusty and there's sharp edges on it, and kids are going to fall down in there and never be heard from again, or else it'll fall on their head and squish them till there's nothing but a greasy spot left, and oh my, lions and tigers and bears, blah 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 blah, same old empty-headed mush brain nonsense. I love boasting. I try not to let it show. I'm sure I'm doing really well at that. Anyway, that about concludes this video. I think we are at, oh criminy, 14 minutes. Thank you for being so patient as to bear with me rambling on and on about my favorite topic. Well, second favorite. I don't do air conditioners anymore. People want a $50 unit to cool their whole house and look like freaking Michelangelo or somebody installed it. And I'll tell them, go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot or Walmart or whatever. They'll set you up, and you can deal with it. And I can sit here and not deal with any of that drama. Anyway, that concludes the video. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I took apart some fans, or air conditioners. That's a condenser fan, plastic wannabe thing. I threw away a bunch of plastic. Not 3 pieces out of 50 had a recycle number on them, so they went to the landfill, because I can't have them stacking up around here. some of the pieces actually had recycle numbers, so I was glad for that. They're recycled properly. The rest of it, I did the best I could. And anyway, oh, here's a nice little thing. This is that plastic grill will be modified so it's not an aerodynamic restriction. This thing will be made into a monstrous air circulator. That's going to take a lot of work, and I got to build a frame for it to make it stand up, and I got to clean it. And anyway, that's part of what I'll be doing over the winter and the next indefinite period of time. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to have to find something else to do. I need to clean out my bin. I'd show you in there, but no, you don't want to see that. That's scary. Even for me, it's scary. People are like, you're going to destroy your back, and you're going to be a broken down old fart by next year if you keep moving that stuff around. Been doing it 30 years. Ain't killed me yet. They're also certain I'm going to go deaf playing Hendrix and Doors and Zeppelin and having noisy vehicles and running chainsaws. Ain't killed me yet. Here I am. See, I got like one eye left. But other than that, I'm ready to go romp and stomp and build some fans. Contraband fan out. Talk to you again soon, or else. Bye for now.